Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Just making sure my head isn't being cut off. Hello, welcome. It is Wise Women's Wednesday, and wise women are showing up. That's all. That's what I know. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for being a part of our world. It's fun for you. It's fun for me. It's fun for you, Doris. Good to have you here. Wise Women's Wednesday. Well, let me just tell you a couple things that are going on. Jocelyn's in the house. So's our Deborah. Hello, hello. Well, one thing I wanted to say, and we kind of talked as a team among ourselves, is that our dream team has shrunk. Hello, Jackie. Our dream team has shrunk. Our Lindsay has taken let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? She has taken flight, shall we say, and we're proud of her. She has gone to Alaska. She's on this big adventure, and she has stopped working for us. So we are thrilled to support our Lindsay. We're thrilled with what she's doing. She keeps us up to date every once in a while on these. I mean, she's not in Anchorage either. She's like in some small area, and she's doing her thing. You know, she's very young. She's in her early 20s, and we just applaud her. We say, "Yay, Lindsay, you go." So the dream team is me, it's Amber, and it's of course Jenny. And Jenny's behind the wheel right now, steering the ship. So I'm just letting you know that this is what's up. I thought it was a time for us to mention that because she has not been with us for about a month now. And she's going to go to Antarctica to work this winter. Hello. It's just going to be a little bit chilly, but we are very supportive of her. And of course, if she ever says, "Hey, got any work?" I will be the first one to say, "Yes, please, Lindsay," because she's brilliant. We love her, and she's sweet as can be, as you know. And anyway, so the three of us are still working together. We're still a dream team. Gosh darn it, aren't we? Anyway, I see a whole bunch of people just joined us, so I wanted to say hello. And that's hello to Jackie, and hello to Catherine, of course, Lizzie, Teresa. It's so good to have you here. And there's our Nancy. Cheers. So if you heard I don't know, Nancy, if you heard the news, but our Lindsay has left, has taken flight, and we still love her. But she is no longer a part of our dream team. So just letting you know. Kathy, hello. Alice is in the house as well. Supplement of the week is drop. You buy 3, you're going to get 1 for free. And that is a screaming deal. Always a screaming deal. It's going to give you this supplement to help keep your blood sugar under control. It does it with a number of botanicals, I should say, and herbals and all kinds of stuff. It also has some other things in it. It's quite the blend. And this blend, let me just tell you, just does the trick. It is amazing how it will bring your blood sugar levels down. And I'm really in love with this. I think it's terrific. And let me just mention this. For all of us who are of a certain age, our blood sugar is naturally going up, right? It just happens. So it's really imperative that we get a handle on it and really know our numbers. This is part of, your doctor does this all the time, gets your blood sugar numbers. You want to keep it. They're going to say under 100. I'm going to say under 90. That's even better. So let's just do that. This is when, this is a metabolic flag when our blood sugar levels start to go up. So let's bring them down. Also inflammatory. So that's savingdinner.com/show if you want that. And if you want Crave Water, of course you do. You want to get this. Go to savingdinner.com/Crave Water. Crave Water is L-glutamine with a taste of lemonade. So it's fantastic. It does the work. It makes everyone happy. And I'm still drinking it. This is left over from pickleball today. I didn't play as much as I usually do. Usually that thing's empty. So I'm going to finish that off. Good stuff. I put hot milk mix in it too. So you can find savingdinner.com/crave water if you haven't gotten it yet. If you've gotten it, would you tell me about it? What do you think? I asked you to tell me about, I was going to give somebody an Amazon gift card, and I want to hear what you think. You know, easy. Just tell me what you think. You've tasted it, right? It's not just sitting there in your cupboard, right? Come on, tell me what you think. It is delicious. My husband loves it. He drinks it every single day. Marnie asked, what's my thoughts on MCT oil? It's fantastic. MCT oil is one of the best things ever. It's really good for your brain. It's good for all your metabolic everythings. It's good for hormones, and it's good for fat loss. So there's MCT oil in a lot of our products, including Crave Water. We have it in our hot melt mix. And there's even a touch of MCT oil in Perfect Paleo Protein. It's fantastic stuff. Yes, we love MCT oil. Medium chain triglycerides is what MCT stands for. All right. Hi, Marnie, by the way. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. A couple of things that we have going on. And I am best dose of SAMe every day. Okay, Catherine, this is a big deal. First of all, okay, you want to know about SAMe? SAMe is an enzyme, and it really, really helps with mood and joints. Two things, moods and joints. Your best dose might not be my best dose, but my best dose is probably stronger than yours, okay? I have 400 milligrams. Do not buy it in a jar, ever. You're wasting your money. Only buy it in the punch things, in the nitrogen flushed packets. I don't have one here that I can show you. Make sure you're taking it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, or it will do you no good. It's imperative that you take it in the right way. My husband drinks orange juice. I know. He drinks orange juice every single morning. He used to drink take his SAMe with orange juice. And I was like, Mark, please, and he'd say, I don't see why you think this is so great. It doesn't work. And I said, because you're totally offloading all the, results of this thing just simply by taking it wrong. And then I started like valet parking this. At first thing in the morning, I bring it to him in the morning, and I will not let him do anything else except do it the way that I show him how to do it. And now he's fine. For me, it's 400 milligrams. He takes 400 milligrams as well. We start our hours that we sell has 200 milligrams. And for most women, that's fine. But not for me. Do a 2-week trial, taking it exactly the way I say. Any other way, you're not going to get the results. And do not buy it from the jar. Please, please, please don't. If you get it from me, thank you. If you don't, at least make sure that it's in the nitrogen flushed packages. That means you're going to be buying it in a box, not a jar. Okay. I'm really emphatic about these things because this is how we get supplements that work. And I'm the same way about probiotics as well, by the way. Our probiotic is in the nitrogen flushed. I don't even know what you call them. You have to pop them out. I'm getting ready, and you should be too, for our Hot Melt Sprint blister packs. Thank you. Blister packs. Your blister pack is the deal, right? Blister packs are the deal. But your Hot Melt Sprint is coming up. It is coming up next Monday. We are still sending out, we've got a lot of people buying kits, and I strongly suggest that you do it because they are 25% off this week. Usually 15, 25% off. It's big. And you can go to savingdinner.com/kits to go get yours, because this is what's going to really rock your results. You want to see the needle move? If you're going to do that, if you follow the directions exactly, use the kit, make the Target Trifecta smoothie every single morning. Watch what happens in 7 days. I'm serious. It is unbelievable. So I'm just saying, get on that. And while you're at it, if you haven't read Getting Off the Carousel of Crazy, and you get the workbook that goes with it, you're missing out. That's at savingdinner.com/crazy. And you know why I'm mentioning this right now? Because it is not just about the plan. It is about What else? It's about your mindset. Without the right mindset, we can't get through all of these things. So let's go after that. Oh, and the other thing that we're doing, by the way, with the kids, we just made this decision yesterday, is we're going to send you recipes called the Hot Melt Way. And I'm telling you, this collection is humongous. It's $249 worth of recipes and plans and all kinds. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff there. It is a ton of material. It's in a digital file. We're going to send it to you absolutely free when you buy a kit. So if you bought a kit on Monday night because you were there for the webinar, by the way, savingdinner.com/sprint webinar. If you haven't watched it yet, we will retroactively send you that. So don't worry, everybody's going to get their thing. Anyway, I'm ready. I'm ready. I've got my daily affirmations here. You know, I am enough. I am, and of course, is big time. Come with a little standy ram. You know, I mean, all the things. Get me set up. Put the tools out. Let's do it. Right? That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get down into the weeds. You know why? As we start anything new, we find ourselves in a place of huge discomfort. And one of the little things, we've been talking about little things all week, one of the little things that we can do is understand that when we take personal responsibility for whatever it is that we're doing, that empowers us and it massively moves the needle and gets us into the place of feeling like, yes, I can do this. Always. 150,000%. So what is personal responsibility anyways? Well, it means acknowledging and accepting the power you have over your choices and actions. It's that simple. It involves recognizing that you're in control of your life and that your decisions all have consequences. And when we take personal responsibility, we are claiming our power. We're standing in our power. And we realize and recognize that we have the power to move the needle in our lives however we want it to go. That is the essence of personal responsibility. So the thing that we have to look at, though, is that a lot of times we get blind to it, you know, and we don't understand what it's all about. And we find ourselves in a place of denial. Ever hear about that, you know, denial? But that means that we're refusing to accept our mistakes and instead blame others or our circumstances or whatever. Have you ever heard this one or said this one? Oh, life's just got in the way. That's a deflection. It's a denial. And it's also a deflection of, I'm not going to take personal responsibility for this. I'm going to blame life for getting in the way. And instead, if we just stepped up and said, you know what, I didn't plan effectively, or I didn't think about X, Y, and Z, it shifts things a little bit because it sounds a little gentler, doesn't it? When we say, well, life got in the way. Oh, I know. And then everybody, oh, I know. It happens. And what does that accomplish except set you up for the next one? But when we take personal responsibility, it's a whole different thing. We say, you know what? This is what I need to do next time. It also puts us into this place of taking an analysis of what's going wrong and fixing it. Because who else is going to fix it except the person who's taking personal responsibility? Am I right? Of course. Number 2 is, you know, we can be blind to our personal responsibility because we are living in victimhood. You know, that's a neighborhood I don't want to be in, victimhood. We see ourselves as victim of our circumstances rather as active agents of change. Think about active agents of change. Active agents of change is saying no to victimhood. Active agents of change is saying, I'm not accepting that. I am instead moving over here and pushing out this way. Active agents of change get what they want instead of just laying down and allowing that steamroller to roll right over them. And sometimes those steamrollers are in people, circumstances, whatever. But personal responsibility says no to all of that. There's another way that we're blind to it is out of fear of failure or criticism. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be criticized or nobody wants to fail. But when we're afraid to take responsibility because we fear the judgment of others or we fear failure, then we're not going to experience power, right? Look how little, this is a little thing, taking personal responsibility. And that personal responsibility becomes the seed of power. It puts us on the path of vibrancy and it creates the change that we're actually looking for. And it's inside of us. That's the thing that's so cool about personal responsibility. And I mean, I just want to say this over and over again. We take back our power when we take on personal responsibility. It shows up. And it shows up in a number of ways. The first one is in obviously empowerment. When we empower ourselves to take personal responsibility, we take control of our lives and we recognize which way we're going and when it's the wrong direction. And we recognize when it is the right direction. We can shape our lives because we have taken on the power of personal responsibility. Isn't that so great? Isn't it interesting how easy it is to just deflect and to move away from it, and how stepping into it is such a game changer? It really is. Oh, thank you, Catherine. You're so sweet. And number 2 is resilience, because personal responsibility, man, you know what resilience is? That's your strength. That's your backbone coming out. And when you take personal responsibility, you enhance your resilience. Your strength comes screaming to the top. And when you face challenges, you understand that it's completely within your power to change the direction of things, are the way things are going, or the outcome, or if things are being handed to you that way, you have an ability to translate them into something else. That's what happens. And you'll find the solutions. You'll find your way around the obstacles because nothing stands in your way. That is the power of personal responsibility. And it's also, number 3 is going to open you up to growing and to learning. Because if you're looking for solutions or trying to get over this obstacle or whatever it is, it fosters this idea that something's got it, that you can change things. It makes you creative. It helps you to see things in a completely different light. When you understand that it all ends here, that it all ends on your watch, and that there's no one to blame except yourself, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm going to figure it out. That's where you become extraordinarily creative and you understand that everything is figure outable if you just take a minute to do it. And guess what else happens? Number 5 is your relationships improve, because now you're not blaming someone else. So now it's not some so-and-so's fault. Now it's not the circumstances fault. Now you're not blaming the car or the weather or the, life. And you have a better relationship too with your own life. Isn't this cool? What happens when we get to do that? So how do we know that we're taking personal responsibility? Well, we acknowledge that our actions and decisions directly affect our life's outcomes. How are you going to do on this sprint? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, coming up on Monday, if you take personal responsibility for it, what's that going to mean? If you take personal responsibility, it means that you're going to go in there, you're going to know the plan, you're going to read the plan, you're going to be all about the plan, and you're going to get prepared for the plan. So you're going to know. So your actions and your decisions are all going to line up with what the Hot Melt Sprint is all about, because that is your personal responsibility, right? You're also going to know that you're going to own your own mistakes and failures. You're not going to blame anything except yourself. And this isn't so that you can beat yourself up. It's so that you can move along and grow from the experience of the failure or of the mistake or whatever it was. That's why we say that we do things excellently, not perfect. Excellence is a trainer, and perfect is a condemner. Perfect has never helped anyone out, ever. It makes you feel less than. Excellence, however, is something we can rise to and rise above even. We can. Because excellence is showing us a better way. Excellence is empowering, and excellence always takes personal responsibility. The other thing is you start to notice if you're taking personal responsibilities, that you make the initiative to make the change instead of waiting for things to happen. This is so crucial. How many times have we just waited and waited and waited for things to happen? And then, I mean, it just doesn't. And then we say, well, I was waiting and nothing ever happened, blah, blah, blah. Well, where were you? Could you have done something? Could you have said something? Could you have called someone? Could you have written a letter? Could you have emailed? What could you have done that could have made a difference? And when we find this out, when we start noticing these kind of things, we are the ones who take initiatives. We don't just sit back and wait and hope. Waiting and hoping is moronic. It's not going to get you anything. It's just going to get you a lot of the same stuff that hasn't been working before. You got to change it up. In pickleball, we do this all the time. It's like, okay, we'll take a timeout. If we're in a tournament, we'll take a timeout and say, hey, this isn't working. We got to fix our strategy. What do we want to do instead? Okay, let's do this. Da, 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 da. And that is how it is, though, with life. We got to always be assessing what's going on, not so that we can pile on and feel bad about ourselves, but so that we can correct things. Course correction is human. Everybody needs a course correction every now and then. And the other thing is you proactively seek solutions when you're faced with problems, right? You don't just let those problems heap on top of you and say, well, I can't help it. There's nothing I can do about that. Of course you can. And isn't that exciting when you finally figure this out? Personal responsibility was the biggest, that little thing is a big needle mover in my life. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Vanessa. I'm glad you're here. So I've got 6 steps for you on how to take personal responsibility. If there's something that you've been blind to, or if there's something that you're saying, oh, you know what, maybe there's something I need to do, here are your steps. Number 1 is self-awareness. Self-awareness is just the act of noticing what's going on, noticing the words that are coming out of your mouth, noticing, are your actions lining up with the things that you're saying? I use this a lot, as a nutritionist, and I'm telling you, watch what's on the end of your fork. And I'm going through the drive-through. We've got have you noticed there's some misalignment there? So my alignment assignment is that my walk and my talk need to be the same thing. And so that's critical. That's important. Number 2 is acceptance. When you accept your mistakes and failures, we can use them as learning opportunities. And that goes for every single person on the planet. Today I was playing with this guy named Neil. It was our last game. And I was playing with him and I was just like, oh man, I kept doing the same darn thing. And he goes, that's all right. He said, use this as an opportunity to get up to the net a little bit faster. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Duh. Why didn't I think about that? And then the next point we got, and we ended up winning the match. But this is how it is in real life too, not just on the pickleball court. These are the things that we need to do. We also need to be taking proactive action. We don't wait for things to happen. We go out and we make things happen. If you have a goal in your life, it is up to you to go after that goal. Nobody's going to read your mind and say, hey, so Jackie, you've got a goal? Okay. If you've got a goal, then I'm going to make sure that everything in your life goes well so that you can get after your goal. No, Jackie needs to go out and say, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. These are the people who are on my team, and this is the way it's going to be. You have to create this. You are the creator of your own life, your own environment, your own food, your own everything. It's up to you. And as much as it's up to you, that's how proactive you can be. It's amazing what happens when we understand that we can take all of these steps. And number 4 is to stop blaming. For heaven's sakes, we blame others, we blame circumstances, we blame the weather, we blame everything except ourselves. And again, we aren't about beating ourselves up, but we are about taking responsibility so that we can create the outcomes we want. And isn't it exciting that we can co-create with the Creator, right? Why do you think He put you here if you're not here on purpose and for purpose? Exactly, right? If that's the case, then we take responsibility. We co-create, and it's an exciting thing to do. It's a brilliant thing to do. And those who take personal responsibility see it that way. Number 5 is set goals. We have the rising tide coming up. It's coming up in September. I've given everybody plenty of time to get ready for it. We even said, hey, if you need a payment plan, send us an email to support@savingdinner.com. We'll help you out. But the whole point is that when we set goals and we do them in the manner in which we need to do them so that we can retrain our brains so that we can be all about them, then we're going to see all of this stuff come to fruition. And we're going to know that we're taking personal responsibility because there's no other way to create and to do and to have than to take personal responsibility. And what is a goal except a deadline, right? It's something that you want with a deadline. That's all it is. And then there's a bunch of action steps in between. And it's done pretty much daily. And as we do it daily, we get results. And that's exciting. That's taking personal responsibility. The other thing you can do is always seek feedback from trusted advisors, not from people who you know are going to give you a put down answer or whatever. And remember, part of people pleasing is going after and trying to get somebody to say something nice to you when you know they're just going to come back and slam you. I'm sorry, but we can't do that. We have to be very particular about the people that we allow into our lives into that role. If you need feedback or you need somebody to look at something for you, make sure the person that you're asking is the right person. Personal responsibility is a process. It is also something that keeps us in the growth stage of our lives. It is emotionally intelligent, it is wise, and it's what wise women choose over blame shifting, denial, and gaslighting. And if you've lived with that and had people in your life about that, well, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't you be that person. Your life is important. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You're here on purpose and for purpose. And your mission is to figure out what that is. Your vibrancy matters. And everything that you do is going to create vibrancy or take it away. And taking personal responsibility is your first step to creating that exact path that you want and that exact life. So, I don't know about you, but being resilient and having all of these things in my life, being able to go through and create my goals and actually see them come to fruition, that's empowerment. That is empowerment. Pinky's up to you, Nancy. Pinky's up to all of you wise women today. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, if you missed any of our announcements, they're always on the announcements page. That's at savingdinner.com/announcements. That's where you're going to find the deals, the links, the things, and everything else that you need. I'm here for you. If you need anything, you know how to reach out. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.